Jesus was not a Jewish carpenter. You're like, what? I'm going to say it again. Jesus was not a Jewish carpenter. Okay, Panther, then what was he? He was a Galilean rabbi. Yes, he worked as a mason or a carpenter at a time in his life, but that's not his relevant work. It's like saying Subway employee Margot Robbie or serial sweeper Ashton Kutcher, pool lifeguard Clint Eastwood, a job you had before you started doing what you're known for counts for a footnote, not for a statement of who you are. As to whether Jesus was a Jew, consider John 20:19. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the doors were locked, where the disciples were, for fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." They weren't hiding from people of Jewish descent and belief. That would mean they were hiding from themselves. The word which is translated Jews is the Greek word Judeos. In context, it means Judeans, the people of Judea. Now, don't make the mistake of imagining these were Christians hiding from Jews. They weren't. They were Galilean disciples of Jesus hiding from the Judeans, particularly the religious authorities. In Matthew 26:73, before Jesus died and rose, so we're going back a little bit, it describes how one of the bystanders came over to Peter and said, "You must be one of Jesus' disciples. We can tell by your Galilean accent." In the thinking of the time, Jesus was a Galilean, not the word that is now translated Jew. He was, of course, a practitioner of Judaism until he established a new church and the veil of the temple in Jerusalem was torn. We read about that in Matthew 27:50 and 51. Now, to be clear, there is a larger meaning of Jewish that means Hebrew, belonging to the people of Israel, which does apply to Jesus and his apostles. The early followers of Jesus were all Jewish until Paul, inspired by the Holy Spirit, began sharing the good news with non-Jewish people. But to be clear, the saying, "My boss is a Jewish carpenter," is like saying, "Romeo and Juliet" is about Juliet Montague and a boy she loved named Romeo. It gets more wrong than it gets right.